cotton candy EAs and creatine. We're fucking ready to go. I'm pumped. I believe that's Portuguese. Yeah, I don't speak any other language besides English. I'm pretty basic. So I apologize, Tony, but I only speak English. Alex, what's good? Let's go. You guys pumped? If you're ready for today's episode, let me know. Drop some fire in the comments. It's gonna be lit. We're gonna move quick. We're gonna have a great fucking time. Eli, what is good? All right, let me pause this. I like to get myself in a good state before I deliver you guys some value. So pause this guy. We're going to give a countdown and make sure my mic is plugged in. And we're going to get started in 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, mother truckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Your Mind, Change Your Life podcast. This is your favorite online trainer, Coach Sal. Let's get it. In today's episode, you can see the title, Don't Be Afraid to Pivot. And it's something that I've been thinking a lot about recently, and I think you guys get a ton of value from that. So in this episode, my goal is to shed light on the things that I've experienced, basically to be able to download my brain into yours and give you some lessons that could really help improve your life. Because I think as humans, like, we really do resist change. It is uncomfortable. So right now, if you could resonate with that statement alone of just like maybe going through an experience, or maybe I should say like trying to change your life, and it's uncomfortable and it's challenging and it's scary, and maybe it's something that is really difficult for you to stay on track with. And I want to really break that down here for you guys today, and really help you understand that, like, you should not be afraid to pivot. You should not be afraid to embrace change. If anything, all the things that you want are on the other side of that. And I really do believe that shifting your identity is something that is very necessary, because, like, simply put, I like to say, like, becoming a new character. It's something that I think about a lot, because, like, that's really what we're meant to do, essentially. Like, we're not meant to stay the same. So, like, I want you guys to sit in that for a second. It should be exciting, and we should embrace that. And it's really just about leaning into, like, the uncomfortable things that we have really in our lives that, like, we resist from day to day. So let me know if you guys could resonate with any of that. If you do, let me know. If you're on the replay, just buckle up. It's going to be a good time. And really quick, just like an update. So we're in the process of actually rebranding our entire company, which I'm super excited. And it kind of ties into this episode, because I'm talking about, like, leveling up and changing, and creating an evolutionary experience for yourself. And, like, that's what we're actually rebranding our company to be. So I haven't announced it really yet. I've only told my clients. This is the first time I'm publicly saying it. But we're going from SV Fitness to Team Evolution, because I really embody, team culture and creating an evolutionary experience for our clients. And it's just something that really hits home for me, and it kind of ties into this episode as well. Because for those who have been here for a little bit, and even for those who don't know, like, for a long period of time, like, I thought I was genuinely, like, doomed. And when I say doomed, I mean, like, I didn't think that I was capable of doing all the things that I'm doing today. And, like, I always just want to be someone that is able to push the limits and encourage other people to do the same thing. And we talked about that the other day with, like, not settling for less. And this ties into this as well. But, like, just going back to, like, the jobs that I've worked, for context, like, I've literally worked so many jobs that I've hated. My first job was actually, I worked in the deli of Pathmark. So if any of you guys know what Pathmark is, I was a deli guy. I was behind the counter, like, cutting meats for a little bit. I started doing that. Then I was delivering pizza. I've worked on food trucks, insurance, construction, serving, bartending. I mean, you name it. I've literally done it all. And the reason that I'm sharing that with you guys is because, like, I thought for a very long period of time, like, that's what I was going to be doing with my life. And, like, I genuinely thought that I couldn't do anything else. And that's foundationally the message that we're going to be talking about in this episode, is that you're meant to change, and pivoting is okay. If anything, it should be encouraged and embraced. And although it's scary, all the things that you want are on the other side of that. Because when I think back to all the things that I used to do, like, it's fucking wild that I'm here right now. So if that makes sense and you guys can resonate with that at all, let me know and drop some fire in the comments if you're here with me live, and let's break this down. And furthermore, to that point, I think it's really understanding that all the things we truly want is going through that path of resistance and change, and constantly really trying to push yourself throughout that. And, like, oftentimes we're met with resistance. So, like, let's just make the example, because I'm a fitness coach, right? That you're tracking your calories, your workouts, your steps, your sleep, all these things that you are supposed to be doing. right? But every single day, like you're waking up and maybe you're not excited to do those things. And like it's very intriguing to me. Like those voices in your head every single day that are telling you to hit snooze, to skip your workouts, right? Just sleep in a little bit. Oh, it's 5 minutes. It doesn't matter, right? And like that's a different topic for a different day. I really want to try and stay on task here with like the idea of pivoting and like how that could benefit you in your life, right? So it's something that we focus heavily inside of our program. So for my clients, for you guys who are here, you guys are aware of that. You know, like we need to act differently because here's the thing: if you want to be different than most people, then you're going to have to do things differently. I want to like really sit in that for a moment. If you want to be different than other people, you can't act like them. So the resistance that you're met with is something that you should embrace because that's what it takes, right? Alyssa, 100%. Who else is with me? There's 5 people on IG and I only see 2 comments. Are you guys with me on that? What about TikTok over here? Can you guys let me know? Because like I think it's something that is very, very interesting on how like we just constantly respond to that, you know? So for those who are in my program, you guys understand that. Casey understands that as well, is you can't act like everybody else if you want to be different. It's like a simple framework and maybe you're like aware of it, but you choose to maybe opt outside of that, you know, and that's really the disconnect. Sometimes, especially like there's people around you, maybe your friends or your family who like aren't doing the same things, you know, and it becomes a little frustrating to constantly try and do things that maybe they don't do. And then maybe they say certain things that are discouraging to you, but you have to recognize that them saying certain things and you being met with resistance and having those voices in your head that are telling you to quit and hit snooze, like you're on the right path then. And instead of viewing those things and saying, you know, I should feel sorry for myself, I should quit, maybe I'm not doing the right things, I want you to understand that's not the case. If anything, you should recognize that and you should embrace that and understand that that is the path to true change. And that's the title of this episode. Like, don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to change. Like, if anything, embrace that. And when you're met with the adversity, the obstacles, the roadblocks, and all those things, like, meet it head on and say, like, this is what I need to go through in order to get the things that I want. Alyssa said, literally experienced that yesterday with my dad and felt that exact way. And I really resonate with that. And, you know, like this foundational framework and concept has carried me so far, which is why I want to give that to you, because it's just a subtle tweak. All the things that I talk about on this podcast are just subtle tweaks that maybe you might be aware of, or sometimes you're not. And sometimes it just takes the conversation to shed some light on that and be like, you know what? I could probably look at this a little bit differently. And because I look at it a little bit differently, I'll start taking different actions. And when you start to take different actions, you get different results. I'll say that one more time. When you take different actions, you get different results. So you can't do the same things you've always done and get a different outcome. You can't act like all the people around you and expect to be the 1% of people. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So 3 lessons that I'm going to break down for you in this episode that are really going to carry you going forward. So if you guys take notes, Casey, I know you love to take notes. So now is the time to bust out your notepads. Drop it in the comments if you're here with me live. If you're on the audio replay, just make sure that maybe if you're driving, you like pull over and like really write this shit down, because it's going to really help you transform your life. Okay. So first one when it comes to like pivoting. And the reason I say pivot is because we get very like stuck in the habitual patterns of just doing the same things every single day. And like maybe we're just not really satisfied, but we kind of just surrendered to that because it's easy to, right? But the path of least resistance is a problem. And that's where we start to fall into ruts of anxiety and depression and stress and overwhelm. And for lack of a better word, like mediocrity, you know, and that's something that my coach Dylan actually talks about all the time. Like mediocrity is a curse, you know, and it's something that just really fucking keeps you stuck. And like, no one wants to feel stuck. Do you guys want to feel stuck? No, neither do I. So that's why we got to talk about these things. Okay. Notebook ready. I'm writing it now. I fucking love it. Okay. So first point, number 1, it's the same title as the episode. Don't be afraid to pivot. I want you guys to put that in the comments, because for me personally, I'm going to say it again. Don't be afraid to pivot, because what's scary for me when I think about it is being the exact same person like 2 to 5 years from now and struggling with the same things and having the same conversations in the same area with the same people. Like personally, I just can't fucking see myself doing that, you know, and I want you guys to embody that same thing, because like I briefly touched on earlier, embracing the struggle of like every single day being met with all of those things that you don't want to deal with that are uncomfortable is the exact thing that we have to constantly try and push past. Like, recognize that for a moment. All of those things and situations and people that come into your life and meet you with resistance that are testing you of like, you start to second guess yourself, right? Like, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe this person's right. Like, do I need to track my macros? It's just a slice of pizza and an extra 10 minutes in bed. Like, what does it matter? Right? Like, nobody's watching me. But at the end of the day, you are watching you. It's your life. And if someone had a camera over your shoulder all the time, like, how would you feel watching those videos back? Like, it's a trippy concept to like think of that for a second. But those exact situations are molding you into the person that you're trying to become. Think about that for a second. Every single day when you're tested with those, I call them opportunities. Some people will see them as roadblocks. Some people will see them as, fuck, this again, right? But I try and view them as opportunities. That's how you should view it. Don't be afraid to pivot. I love it. I love it. I'm going to read this comment from Jenny. I've always been very quiet at the gym, but I wanted to change and surround myself with different people. I've been going to people that I look up to and ask them about their different workouts. Jenny, shoot me a message and feel free. I'm an open book. I'm happy to help. My goal is going into my 30s, a completely different person physically and mentally. Stephanie, I love that. And thank you for sharing. I really appreciate you. Demi says, I like that. Hell yeah. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to pivot, and we're gonna break that down. And I had a really good thought, and I just lost it, but I'm just gonna keep this going for the sake of the podcast here. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, let's finish this up because here's the thing: where you are right now, we're trying to get to a different side, right? And just like, I want to try and make an analogy here. So for those who are in my program, you guys know I love to make analogies. Okay, so like if you just think of I'm trying to think of the word here. I was going to say like a roller coaster, but like it kind of is in the same way. If you just think of like a movie or a video game where you start at the beginning of the game and you're constantly going through the journey, and you hit these opportunities. I call them opportunities, but maybe you hit these obstacles and it deters you from your path, but then it's constantly trying to get back to that path. It's constantly trying to course correct and say, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I need to be doing. And that's really the second point here. Like I said, I'm going to give you guys 3 points that you're really going to take home today. So write this down. Put it in the comments. Number 2, you're meant to evolve. I'll say that one more time. Number 2, you're meant to evolve. You're not meant to stay the same. You're literally think about that every single day. Each day is an opportunity to improve. Each day is something that you get to do, not I have to do. I think a lot of us catch ourselves in these moments of like, I have to do cardio. I have to track my food. I have to do these workouts. No, whoa. Let's pause and pump the brakes on that one. You get to. And it's the way that you view it, which is ultimately going to change your energy and your perception on it every single day. Because if you're coming at it from the place of, hey, I get to do this, I get to show up for myself, and you embody that, and you're constantly pushing yourself past your limitations, because that's really the issue at its core, is understanding that we've been conditioned from an early age with our childhood, these learned behaviors, right? Like from our parents that we get passed down to think things that we're not a morning person. We're not this, we're not that. Who said that? You did. And you keep telling yourself that and you start to believe that. Don't be afraid to pivot. You're meant to evolve. You're meant to change. You're not meant to stay the exact fucking same. Because again, like I think that's very lame. Could you guys agree? Do you want to be in the exact same position 5 years from now and be struggling with the exact same things? No shot. Absolutely not. Like that for me, like is something that I'm genuinely afraid of, is staying the fucking same. And I made a post about that. I think it was yesterday. Lose track of things sometimes. But I literally said in the post, like that's where my motivation comes from, is making sure that I'm not going backwards. Just to make sure that every single day I'm moving forward towards my dream goals in life and body and all those things. And I know the more I push through those situations and in really embracing the suck is going to get me to where I want to be. Right? Can you guys resonate with that? Drop a fuck yes, drop some fire in the comments if you're here with me. If you could identify with that, let me know. And another point that really stands out to me on that as well is just truthfully letting go of your past self. Truthfully letting go of your past self. Like if I was to continuously identify with the past mistakes and things that I've done in my life, I would be miserable. I wouldn't be okay mentally, to be completely transparent with you guys, because I've made a lot of mistakes. I've hurt a lot of people. I'm not proud of some of the things that I've done in the past. But if I really held on to that and I chose to take that with me every single day, then that would affect how I approach each task going forward. And that would only limit my capabilities of my future. And it's the same thing for you guys. You have to understand, like, you are the creator of your life. And if we're constantly sitting in the past, something that we can't change and we don't really have any control over at this point, but we're constantly telling ourselves this story of, you know what, I did this and that, you know what, I should suffer for the rest of my life and I need to punish myself in order to do that. And I used to do that too, which is why I say it. I literally thought, okay, I made this mistake, I hurt this person, then I need to punish myself for the rest of my days because I'm such an idiot for doing that. And I hate using that word. That word like cuts deep for me. I don't like that word. But I say it to make an example. Like, you're not your past. It's okay to let go of that. Again, don't be afraid to pivot. You're meant to evolve. This stuff right here is just simple frameworks that you could apply into your life today that'll really help you just see the world a bit differently. And like, that's my goal, my mission every single day. Like, I have it on a sticky note on my wall for those who are new here. It literally says impact one person a day. And every single day, like, that's my intention, because that's what makes me feel good. So what makes you feel good? What do you want to do? How do you want to act? Just like, think about that for a second. We grow from our mistakes 100%. Jenny says, fuck yeah. Casey, I love it. Alyssa, hell yeah. There we go. I love how you guys are showing up for yourself. It is absolutely incredible. You were saying good things. Thank you, Sydney. Absolutely. I appreciate you. I was talking to someone yesterday about how I felt about a situation, and I'm happy I did that to get my side of the story out. Yeah. And honestly, Demi, like, I think sometimes it just takes having some difficult conversations, even though we don't really want to do it. That's really, excuse me, what it is. So let's cover this. Wow, my breakfast is coming up. Breakfast. It's fucking 1 o'clock. Let's cover this last point and then we'll recap this episode really quick. So for those who don't know, my recording software only does 5-minute segments. So that's why I honestly kind of like it though, because then I'll be able to like take breaks in between and read the comments. So that's kind of why I haven't changed it. But let's break this down even further. Okay. So the last point in this episode that I really want to share with you guys, number 3, everything is temporary. I'll say that one more time. If you guys are here with me live, put it in the comments. Number 3, everything is temporary. That I'm not going to take credit for. I got that from Ed Milet. But that really, really, really gives me a lot of peace and freedom. Like, even right now, I'll give you guys an example about how my girlfriend's Canadian, and they only allow you to stay in the country for 6 months at a time if you're not a citizen. So she's not a citizen. And right now we're working on getting her a visa. So she's not here right now, you know, and I could sit in that and I could be frustrated every single day. Oh, I wish she was here. I wish I was there. I wish we were together. But, you know, like right now with the circumstances, I'm just embracing the temporary season that I'm in. Now, I could show up every single day and be frustrated that she's not here or I'm not there. But what is that going to do? It's only going to rob me from enjoying my day-to-day activities right now. And when I recognize that everything is temporary and eventually this will dissipate, these things will pass. That's another thing too. This too shall pass. And that's something that we could cover another day. But just recognize that everything is temporary right now. So like, maybe you're in a season, and I've done separate episodes on that. There's seasons to life. So if you haven't checked that out, scroll on to the episodes. There's fucking like almost 300 of them. But I personally think that there is a lot of freedom and comfort in just recognizing that everything is temporary, you know? So to recap that, just embrace the seasons. Like, let go of the way you really think things should be, because that's another thing that really cripples me all the time. It was like, we have this idea in our mind of what we think things are supposed to look like, and we try and really force that to happen. But then oftentimes, like, it never really happens that way. And we spend all this mental energy and bandwidth trying to do these things, and it doesn't even work out, you know? So I think that specifically, those are like really some big key things that I've picked up over the last few years that I wanted to share with you guys in this episode, because I think a lot of us, correct me if I'm wrong, but we try so hard to force things. You know, like even right now, like let's just relate to my clients that are here with you guys. You guys join the program, you want the results and you want them right now and you want them so bad. But why not allow yourself to actually just enjoy the process? Because then it becomes fun. And that's how you're able to make the lifestyle shift that everybody wants. Because when you recognize that your life and your fitness journey is ever evolving, there really is no rush. And we've covered that. I think we even covered that a little bit yesterday as well. And that's why I always said I was going to scale back these episodes, because I used to do 5 every single week. And I felt like a lot of times I was repeating myself. So that's why I said, hey, I'm going to scale it back and make sure that those 3 are really fucking good. And we cover some different aspects. And like, that's why I also ask you guys all the time, like, what do you want to see more of? Let me know. Because for me as a creator, sometimes I get tunnel vision. Sometimes I get blocked in the things that I'm experiencing, but I want to make sure that this is super valuable to you guys as well. So that's what I'll say to you, because you're allowed to not only change, but also enjoy every single day. And I want you guys to truthfully try and look at all these obstacles and opportunities. I shouldn't say that. That's complete. I messed that one up. Okay. So what we're trying to do is look at all the roadblocks and the adversity and the mistakes, right, as opportunities to learn, instead of beating yourself up about all these things that are going wrong per se, right? Why can't you see them as areas to improve upon? And that's why I've really grown to love bodybuilding and fitness, is because like that's how I see it. That's what's allowed me to really stay consistent, is because every single day I'm approaching this of like, how much better can I get? How far can I go? What is my limits? I don't know. I'm going to test that every single day and I'm going to find the fuck out. And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I want you guys to do. So let's recap this really quick. 3 foundational frameworks when it comes to pivoting, because pivoting is something that could really, really, really help you guys tremendously. So number 1, don't be afraid to pivot. We covered that, because truthfully, like, again, it's scary to be in the same spot 5 years from now. And I don't want that for you. Okay. Number 2, you're meant to evolve. You're meant to change, and that's okay. Allow yourself to get there. Allow yourself to experience that. You know, you're not your past. And then the last point, number 3, everything is temporary, because it is. And I truly believe that there is a lot of peace in that, and just embracing the seasons that you're in right now and recognizing that this too shall pass, and that eventually things will work out, you know? And I just feel like if you're able to really embody those 3 to its core every single day, it's just going to allow you to see things a bit clearer, you know? And that's really what I want for you, because I know exactly how it feels to not see things this way. So hope that was valuable for you guys. I appreciate you spending a couple minutes with me here today. We'll see you in the next episode. Hope you guys have the best day of your entire motherfucking lives. Peace, love, and protein. Let's fucking get it. Okay, I'm out. I'm actually a couple minutes late for my meeting. And yeah, talk soon. Hope you guys got something from that. If you did, let me know. Drop in the comments. Have a good day. Talk soon. Peace. I'm out.